2 internets, 2 marketplaces. Traditional domains you already know. Handshake TLDs you truly own. Buy, sell, stake, all in one place. ShakeStation, the best place for Handshake domains and beyond.
So we'll start a bit earlier than we expected. First of all, hi everyone. I don't know who exactly is here nowadays, but we'll manage it a bit later. But I see some activity in chat, so some people are definitely here. Just react if you are here and listening to me, so that, okay, perfect. Okay, so let's start. Hi, my name is Peter Farby, and I'm a core contributor at Web3Privacy now. I'm a builder of Privacy Academy educational program that we have in Web3Privacy now, and the Launchpad, which is basically an accelerator for privacy startups and projects. I also organize Cypherpunk Congress, and my personal background is actually more in communications and strategy and marketing, operations, ecosystem building. And I don't come from hardcore cryptography, more from culture and coordination, but today I will be talking a bit about cryptography and cypherpunk. So, as I told you earlier, I'm a part of Web3Privacy Now core, and we do a lot of privacy-related stuff. We do mostly events now, and so far we have, I don't know, maybe 15,000 people that have visited us from 70 different countries, with 200 speakers from Chelsea Manning, Toro founder Roger, Andrew Tang, Vitalik, and we have 17 different supporting orgs from Ethereum Foundation to Protocol Labs. And we basically, what we do as a think and do tank, we try to build solidarity between activists, freedom and tech visionaries, and empower some sort of positive shift in power dynamics. And today I'll start with this take. So internet was meant to set us free, but something went wrong at some point, and instead it watches, measures, and sells us. And I want to talk a bit about a new generation that is changing that. And I believe that you as well are changing this situation. We call those people neo-cypherpunks. What is neo-cypherpunk? I will explain a bit later, but first I will go earlier to 1993 for a second, because before blockchains, before tokens, there was a quiet revolution made of code. And in the early days of internet, a few people saw the same systems that this promising global connection, which is a web, and could also become the engine of control. And that's how Cypherpunk Manifesto was born. And those pioneers, they actually called themselves cypherpunks. I'm sure you are familiar or at least have heard about cypherpunks. Please type something in the chat if you did, so that I don't go really deep into that. But to make it short, it's like a group of cryptographers who advocated for individual freedom and autonomy, and they thought that it's fundamental. And the Cypherpunk Manifesto is like a super historical document of this epoch. And 3 decades later, everything that cypherpunks warned us is coming true. So we have surveillance capitalism, we have AI profiling, and data colonies that dominate our daily lives. And now, getting back to almost nowadays, but 2024, when Ethereum cypherpunk turn happened. What is that? It consists of 3 major pillars. So it was a post-polar threat on neo-cypherpunk, because actually he invented this term. Then we released the Ethereum Cypherpunk Transition Manifesto, and it all started with Vitalik, who actually released this Make Ethereum Cypherpunk Again article. The thing is, the Web3, how it was thought about in the beginning, is way different from how it evolved. and it became like a really weird space full of scam, full of casino, and really wild money. And the question is it possible to make Ethereum and Web3 in general a cypherpunk again? That's what we tried to tackle in our cypherpunk transition article. And what we want basically is to reclaim privacy as a public good. Also, we want to fund ethical and transparent infrastructure and encourage some sort of open collaboration between tech and art, and replace competition with mutual aid, because there's so many actors in privacy field, but they don't talk to each other much. What's neo-cypherpunk? So for us, it's not nostalgia for the 90s, for the cypherpunk. It's more of a remix of play and care, which is all about the community. So it's a movement for nowadays that anyone can join, and I'm sure most of you are already neo-cypherpunks. It's just you probably don't know about it. And then we launched a course on what is neo-cypherpunk. It's like a part of our academy course, so that in 15 minutes you can go deeper and understand what is that and how it really works. Really important thing that we are not about gloom and doom, and we try to encourage like a positive communications around the topic, because also the space, the crypto Twitter is all infused with really negative thinking, and we think that it shouldn't be like that. But going specific, it's not a theory, it's a practice. It's like 1,000 of tiny conscious choices everyone can take just to take power back from the platforms that watch, rank, and monetize us. And it's also about being conscious. For instance, not just rejecting big tech because it's bad, but use it, but in a conscious way, understanding how it works. One of the example is the stacks that we have. And this is Vitalik's stacks, like exactly the tools that he uses in his daily life. And we have stacks from maybe 50 people, like from the space, not just Vitalik. And everyone has its own preferred tools that use on sort of daily basics. And also we encourage pluralism. If Vitalik chooses like specific tools that he uses, it doesn't mean that other tools are wrong or bad or whatever. There are so many things that exist in space, and we encourage people to find what they like, what they need, what fits them the most. And also, like, it's all about culture. It's all about dialogue. It's all about spreading stickers, being part of the community. It's not just, okay, I use tools, but it's being communal in a way and being part of some sort of like cultural or subcultural movement. And we really think that cypherpunk is like neo-cypherpunk is super inclusive, because original cypherpunk, it's non-inclusive at all, because it's strictly for really cryptographer savvy people. And we think that like designers, educators, artists, developers, anyone is a neo-cypherpunk. Because, for instance, I don't know, lawyers, they defend the right to use privacy tools. Tornado Cash case, like it's the most prominent in the space. Designers, they do open source tools, human friendly, because there are so many tools that, like, my parents, they just can't use because it's too complicated. Educators, like, to spread how it works, why it's important. Artists, to keep it visible, weird, alive, cool in design. Developers, of course, which builds the backbone of like cryptography and stuff. And basically anyone who has a conscious relations with internet and understand how it works, how big tech works, and why it can be sort of bad. And it's all about the team. So it's not about me, myself, I'm a cypherpunk, cool, but it's about encouraging other people. Because cypherpunk originally began as a movement of individuals that defended their own privacy. And neo-cypherpunk goes further. because it's about defending each other. How can privacy empower communities, not just individuals? And that's where neo-cypherpunk comes, because basically it's like a cypherpunk with empathy for mutual aid, for open and collective resistance. To keep it in one simple frame, what's the difference between like cypherpunk in an old school way versus neo-cypherpunk, which is a new way? It's like a really clear graph, because here you can see that like what's like the key difference in everything, because you don't have to be an expert. It's like really all level. And also you don't have to be like a full stake privacy maximalist. Even if you start simple, you just use VPN or you just use, I don't know, other service than Gmail. That's already nice. And also important thing that I tackled before is like a gloom and doom, which is really dominant a lot in the privacy space. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be joy-centric, it can be positive, it can be fun, it can be infused with memes and a lot of like positive collaboration around some good cause. Now, of course, it's global, and it's communal, and it's not highbrow, because once again, cypherpunk originally was for cryptographers, people that are really deep in tech and really deep in math, and that's simply not accessible. And for us, like the language that we try to speak when we talk to people, we try to use mimetic warfare, because like math is cool, but we understand that math is not for everyone. And yeah, that's basically it. It was like a really short talk, so I have some space for you to ask questions during the Q&A that we are having now. Also, feel free, if you don't have questions at this very moment, feel free to follow us on Twitter and me personally and Web3Privacy now. Ask more questions about the topic or whatever questions you have.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Peter. You can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting, I don't know if you can see the chats.
I do actually.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a specific question, but yeah, I got the glasses, Oscar. Some people are, but yeah, I'll say it. It's definitely evolved, right? The cypherpunk. I met you guys in various events. I love what you do. I like the kind of like grassroots style. I feel like that's the real point, right? Not these expensive conferences and like fancy events, right? You guys are always kept true to the ethos of this, right? I think that's somewhat in some events I've gone to, some things, right? They get too fancy and too proper, right? Like I feel like it's important to stay true to the roots. Is that what? Am I on the right track here?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, sort of, because there's so many stupid money in Web3, and that's why we have a lot of this Hilton 5-star events with beautiful catering.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then it's just blah 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 talk, and then it's just some sort of weird bubble of people, I don't know, just doing something weird, and we are trying to be exactly grassroots, and we are actually grassroots because came from zero, and what we try to do is to bring like a cultural layer towards the whole ecosystem, not just Ethereum, and not just Web3. What's important, like we launched as a Web3 thing, but actually what we are trying to do is we're trying to unite the Web2 and Web3 bubble, and it works pretty well because like we brought together on stage Vitalik and the founder of Tor, Roger, and now they're collaborating. And that's, for us, it's wow, because there was not even an idea of making it happen, because Web2 and Web3 always lived in a sort of different bubbles. And for us, it's really important to unite these two different worlds.
Okay. I know everybody's new on this system. There is a Q&A tab. It's not been used, but there are questions coming in the chat. Jerome says, I want to know how the ETH movement to proof of stake. I guess there's a few people also in saying proof of stake. So I don't know if you have an opinion of proof of work, proof of stake, and how that affects, or how you think your thoughts on that.
It's really far from the topic, but I'm not speaking on behalf of Ethereum Foundation, even though we like very connected, and we do a lot for Ethereum specifically. But like my quick take on that is just, I think it's just the scalability, and that's it. And we all need scale. We all need fast transactions. Also, we need them cheap. So at some point, I think it was just a very logical step to make.
Yep. No, but it makes sense. But of course, like you said, you're not Ethereum Foundation. You're a community, and you have like ways people can join through. Of course, you have these courses and learnings and events. So that's the best way for people to participate in what you're doing, or how can people participate, just to make sure it's fully clear?
Oh, there's a bunch of things that people can do in terms of participation. So first is just to educate themselves. Just follow us on Twitter or X. It's already a thing, because like you can learn a lot in terms of cultural level, and also a lot of practical tools on privacy and more. Actually, that's the simplest thing. Also, if we speak about like participating, also we are always open to volunteers, because we are a non-profit and self-run that live off grants, and we always have a lot of people that makes our like events possible, because like we are like at the moment we are doing the biggest side event for Ethereum conferences, which is called Cypherpunk Congress. And yeah, it would be impossible to do with just us, because we're a very small team and we have zero revenue. We are not like getting money on everything, and everything we do is free, and it's forever free. Yeah, and just like we as a part of open source culture, and we are always open to people that can just come and do anything, from just, I don't know, helping us to set up a stage at the event, to, I don't know, contributing with a code to our GitHub rep, or to contributing to, I don't know, courses as well. And also we have an individual membership. I think now it's around $100 per year, which is very nominal, but it's like how you can support us if you don't have time, but you want to support us somehow.
Okay. Yep, that's definitely a small nominal fee, which is very reasonable for people to participate. And then, of course, you're on. I see your X2, OX, Farby, and Web3Privacy. And then you have members all around the world, right? Like people, maybe give us some ideas of people in the community participating.
Oh yeah, of course. We do events all around the world. We're not like centered. Normally we have like side events near Connect. So last year it was Buenos Aires. The year before it was Bangkok. This year it's going to be in Mumbai. And of course we have like local Europe. We are European based, so we have a lot of local events. The next one is actually this Friday. I'm going to be in Lisbon. There is an event by Logos. They're doing the huge, not circle, but like circle extension. And then we're going to be in ETH Prague, ETH Rome, maybe in Cannes, and Berlin. Since our next big thing will be in Berlin. It's going to be a huge summit in June.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have actually a lot. So if you go to our website, we have everything listed in our Luma as well. But mostly we are in Europe. As well, Tokyo, we participate in ETH Tokyo, but not that much in US events, unfortunately.
Okay. And Web3PrivacyNow.info. I'll put that in the chat.
Yep.
Okay, that's going into the chat. And we are a little bit ahead of schedule today, but that's fine. And appreciate you sharing with us. Is there other questions from the community? There's a decent group of people here, and I think we maybe could wrap up a bit earlier.
Yeah, guys, just you have a last chance to...
Last chance from Peter.
Yeah, it's like a few more minutes left.
Oh, wait, there are Q&A.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, there's, I don't know if you see it. I can read it out. For the cyberpunk movement in ETH, how could Handshake be integrated? Handshake is our core community. A lot of members, a lot of attendees here are in HNS, and which is a domain naming solution, TLD. I don't know if Altram is just saying, what are ways you're a community? So, of course, participating in a community, attending your events like I have of course, becoming a member. The ethos, I think, definitely aligns of people that believe in, like you said, the way the internet was meant to be for freedom. And especially in Europe, right? It seems like it's under attack, but I think the whole world, internet freedom is under attack.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I don't know if you have another idea about Handshake. I know people in the community like HNS Broker. He's donated domain names to some of your community members.
Yep, yeah, exactly. And also thanks Anonymous for the Explorer link. So Explorer is like one of our products, and basically it's like L2B, but for privacy savvy projects, where we have, I think, more than 800 privacy related projects.
Yeah, I see. Oh, yeah, so he's linking to the Handshake page on there.
Yeah, so what we try to do with Explorer is to first of all, list privacy projects and then evaluate them in terms of how open they are, how technological they are, like do they have like are they open source, etc., etc. So there are multiple parameters on every project that basically shows you if this project is private or not, or private enough, because there is no yes and no. It's like privacy is a scale, right? So in Explorer, we try to assess projects and make it clear how private they are.
Really cool. Really cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing a link, Anonymous. I think there's a lot of anonymous people here. Actually, the events, right? I've been to your events. I went to when I was at ECC in Belgium. A lot of people were anonymous there, which you support, of course, right? Is that a common way people attend the events, like in an anonymous way, or?
Oh, have you been at the one which was on the park?
Yeah, the park one. It was really informal. Like it was like in a circle, like a porch. I don't know. It was in the park. Yeah, yeah. There was pizzas around. It felt like really like like I said earlier, like the ethos of what this all is meant to be.
Yeah, thanks for that. That's my favorite like type of events. It's not really normally we do like more normal events.
Oh, okay.
Space and stage and stuff. So that one was
You remember? Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
It was very guerrilla one because in Brussels it was so capitalistic. So we wanted to do something really off-grid. So basically we occupied, it was like absolutely illegal, and we just took this main park in the center of Brussels, which was like, for those who like is not familiar with the geography of Brussels, it's like a main like park in the city center, surrounded by embassies. So it's like super full of control and police and stuff. But then we managed to do it. We just gathered, I don't know, maybe 50 people, and we had the money who was doing a Socratic circle.
Yeah, I chatted to him there. Yeah,
and also he was ordering a Persian food for us.
Yeah, there was Persian, and I think there was pizzas. There was lots of beer, like the nice cheap beer cans. There's just cans of beer. Like you said, like I was at ECT. It was my first Ethereum style conference, and I felt it was so corporate and so lush and so all these side events. Yeah, it's nice. I was getting free drinks and there's music and food, but it just, your event was my favorite, I think, because I took my shoes off. I sat cross-legged on some pads with some other people, and I was talking to people, just like real conversations with people really interested in what I think both of us believe is the purpose of what we're doing, right? Not pump and dump coins and tokens. And there's so many finance people there, right? I'm at the general conference, like investor and VC, and
exactly. And that's why specifically in Brussels we did it that way, which was like really accessible in all ways, because actually like the place we were doing that, it was some sort of rotonda, and it was just a place with a stage and a roof. And basically when we came there a few hours prior to the event, there was a homeless person just sleeping there. And then we asked him
really?
if we can do a small meetup here, and he's quite okay, sure. And actually, he was joining all the lectures, and he was actually debating a lot with Amin, because he was someone who was like completely off grid. He didn't even have a mobile phone. And for him, it was super interesting, and he had a really interesting takes on like how things work. So it was very inclusive.
Yeah, I didn't know that one, but that is cool. Yeah, I met really nice people, and it was a nice. Yeah, I appreciate what you're doing, and I think we got to wrap up. I thought it was early, but we're right on time. So, thanks, Peter, for sharing with us, and keep up the fight, keep up the ethos.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot for inviting. Thank you all the people who were listening to me and asking questions. Yeah, see you.
We are the resistance.
Yep.
If you're watching this, you're the resistance.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The 6th Handshake Conference, HandyCon White, Building the Sovereign Internet, wouldn't be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. Our platinum sponsors, Easy Domains, ShakeStation, Handshake Swap. Our gold sponsors, USwap. Our community sponsors, Handshake AU, Own the Dot, Namebase, GFAV IP Wallet. Powered by Sky Include. Thank you for believing in a decentralized future and empowering this community. Get your free ticket now at 2026.handycon.xyz